Hello everyone, welcome back. We are walking into a Charlotte Comic-Con, basically a comic show in Charlotte. This is put on, I believe, by Heroes Aren't Hard to Find in Charlotte, which is a really big shop. The guy that owns that's making some serious bank. Love this show. Been here before. $5 entry fee. This is how it should be. You don't have to pay these crazy fees to get in here and buy some books and look at some books. Same strategy here as I've had before, where I'm bringing books to sell in hopes to trade or just get cash. This time I brought several raw books and then also some slabs. The slabs I brought were Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 in a 9.6, Invincible number 1, 9.2, Thor 5 signed by Donny Cates in a 9.8, and Werewolf by Night 32, first appearance of Moon Knight. So I'm on the hunt to get a giant size X-Men back in my collection. And if you watch my previous video, you know that I sold my giant size X-Men 3.0 for $2,200 cash. This book is the time to buy at the time of this filming right now because it is so low. These 5.5s are selling for $3,100, and I'm sure I could get a better cash offer than this. So I'm super interested in that. So the raw books I brought were Black Panther 2, First Shuri, Jungle Action 5, First T'Challa in Jungle Action, Black Panther 1, his first like Black Panther series, Justice League 1 from like the early 90s, Batman, Urban Legends 6, a Marvel Age book with a classic cover, and then first Jane Foster as Valkyrie, and there might have been there was second Deadpool in that X-Force 2. I mean, just, you know what I mean, like $10 books, $15 books, and then the Black Panthers, you know, I valued them at like $200 and $100. So he had a Uncanny X-Men 125 first Mutant X, which I didn't care if it was slabbed or raw. I just saw the price and I thought that was a very good price. Ended up getting this book for $50 cash. Went to this next dealer. He had a low grade Fantastic Four 49. I was interested in that. And then just kind of going around with the dealers, and you can kind of see I'm showing them the different slabs. They're very interested in everything I have, except for this Invincible number 1. That book is so weird. You know, the price on that has taken such a significant downturn. Here, before we've had this dip, that book was selling for $1,200, $1,300. There's been a last sale of like $850, which all these guys are looking at the GPA. They're looking at their cover price, you know, and I get that. I get that they're looking for that value. They don't know that value right off the top of their heads, which is understandable. But they're looking at my lot, and I'm wanting $4,000 for my entire lot. This is an X-Men number 1, first appearance of the X-Men. He's wanting $1,100 for this 3.0, which I thought was a fantastic price. And if I wasn't trying to make my moves with my other stuff, I might have considered it. Another 5.5 giant size X-Men. This one presents beautifully, crisp, bright colors, but more expensive than our previous seller, $400 more. So right off the bat, I realized that these guys are a little high on a lot of stuff, like very high. And I realized that this is probably not the place where I'm going to be doing a deal. Prices on my Edge of Spider-Verse, I was wanting like $800. Invincible 1, I was wanting around $1,200. Thor 5, I was wanting $200. And then the Werewolf by Night around $1,000. So roundabout, I was wanting $3,000 for the slabs and $1,000 for the raws. And that was just kind of a starting point. At this show, I mean, the books are there. The crazy, crazy big books, like, I mean, obviously X-Men number 1's crazy, and this is crazy too, but they just weren't as many there. And I think dealers are kind of tightening up a little bit, like holding some books back because they just don't want to sell them. But, you know, they're trying to move some stuff to keep the cash flow going. Cosplay is a little bit present here. It's not as big of a thing because it's more about the books. You know, a few dealers I didn't even kind of reach out to. I mean, not unless I saw something up there that I was definitely wanting. I talked to this guy, younger guy, he was not about that cash price. I was looking at his Green Lantern books. I'm trying to collect Green Lantern right now because I just think, if these were Marvel books, these books would be like triple what they are. But Green Lantern's awesome, and the keys are so great. The covers are so awesome. The books are so important. So that's what I'm kind of been looking for. I've tried to been piecing together some Green Lantern keys. Wasn't really getting any bites at this point as far as my lot. I mean, really wasn't even getting I wasn't even getting any offers. Like, it wasn't even, and when I said the 4,000, people weren't saying like, oh, that's ridiculous. This is a cool book. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #1, third print in an 8.5, newly encapsulated. This was beautiful. Spoilers, we buy this. This dealer was one of my favorite people here. And this show, I'm just going to say this now, these guys were so nice. These guys were so cool, so chill, just very different than other shows that I've been to, just more recently the Big Lick Comic-Con. Just these guys were different. These guys are about the books. They have a love for it, a passion for it, and it just makes you want to buy things. Seeing the books there in the foreground kind of reminds me to talk about this. When I come to these shows, I'm looking for these type of books. I'm looking for the big books. I have done dollar bin digging at these shows before, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the big books that I can see in person. Here's First Gamora. These two guys, I'm going to give this guy a shout out. This is the Comic Baron. You can see him to the left. I bought my Hulk 181 from him, and then I bought my near complete run of the new X-Men team from him. And I wanted to work with him. I wanted to do deals with him, and when we've already established kind of a business relationship like that before, it's easier. This guy's a really nice guy too. Great deals on books, willing to wheel and deal, but he was just not in the place to be spending money, and it was just not. It wasn't going to happen. There really wasn't any wall books there that was tickling my fancy either. This guy was cool. He had a cool shirt. Shout out Iron Maiden, rock on. He had some pretty good books up there too. Just was not wanting to buy, not wanting to buy. There were several dealers there that had big signs like, comics for cash, we'll buy books, which I tried to hit up as many of those as I could. I also liked that this show wasn't so crowded. This guy here had some really good books, and somebody actually I made an offer for him for that whole top row, and then I think maybe the rest of the slabs on that second row, and he was willing to take $7,000 for that. And you can see, there's like Signature Series, ASM, there's Sabretooth 6.5. What's the price on that? $450 maybe? $425. I offered him $300 cash. I got the cash out, handed it to him, about to hold it, and he wouldn't take $300, which it was kind of a low ball offer, but I really want that book. That book is like a better book in my opinion than the first appearance of Iron Fist. So when I rolled up in this convention, I had cash on me. I was ready to. I was trying to pull a fast one right there, I have to admit. But I had cash on me. I had trades. I was ready to make some deals. This is another book I really want. $300 for this 9.0 first print Batman Todd McFarlane. God, I want this book. And this was a beautiful copy of this. This guy was very nice too. This gentleman here was posted up in the front, and his buddy was the main dealer. I've worked with him before, but he's just so takes so long to make decisions and just humming and hawing, and I'm just like, ugh, we got to make a move. So I go over here to the front display. These are the Heroes Aren't Hard to Find lot. And this guy, these prices, they were the worst prices in the room. And this is the guy that's putting on this convention. He was wanting $900 for a Fantastic Four 94 first appearance of Agatha Harkness. $900 raw. And I mean, it had spine ticks. Like, I was like, dude, I showed him my books, and I was like, are you selling anything? I mean, he had great books, awesome books. That was me looking at the Fantastic Fours and seeing the price, and I was like, see ya. Got to the right. I loved this guy. He had some really awesome books too. But here is where it happened, guys. This is where the trade went down. I traded everything I had in my bag with these guys. So I had bought some things from them before. This is TNT Comics. Shout them out. It's a father and son. Absolutely love these guys. So I pull a few books off the wall. I pick Detective Comics 400, Green Lantern 76, and Giant Size X-Men 5.5, $3,000, custom label. I said, let's talk. All right, guys, we are back again from the con. We were at Charlotte Comic Con, a little comic show. Not so much about the cosplay, not so much about the figures and the toys and the pops and all that stuff. It's about the books, which I love that. Super nice guys, super nice vendors. And man, we utilized that trading, that bargaining chip again, utilizing books that I didn't really so much care about to get improved grades on books I already had, and then books I've been really wanting. So if you followed there to the end, man, everything kind of happened there at the end. I went around that whole place, made laps, trying to show my wares and try to get the best deal I possibly could. Use some of that money from our previous adventures in our Big Lit Comic Con. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out, where we got $2,200 cash for a 3.0 Giant Size X-Men #1. So what I've got here, I'm going to show the raw books first. These two books are from that dealer, TNT Comics, that at the very end of the video, we made the huge deal where we traded every single thing we had for these books. And I'll show you what we got. First off, we've got Green Lantern #76 in a low grade, probably in a 4.0 to a 4.5. This is a classic book. This is probably one of the most important Green Lantern books. You've got Green Lantern #1. You've got first appearance of Sinestro. You've got Green Lantern 40, and then maybe this one and first appearance of Guy Gardner, and then first John Stewart. Those are like the Green Lantern keys. This is an important book, and this is a super awesome cover, which I'm super glad to have in the collection. I kind of wanted this book in a mid-grade, but I was happy with the grade that I had. He had multiple copies of this book, but this is a book that I was okay taking a little bit lower of a grade because of the stuff I was trading, because of what I was giving away to get something like this. Classic Bronze Age book. And he had something even better, another classic Bronze Age book. This is Detective Comics #400, the first appearance of Man-Bat. What an absolutely crazy cover. This is probably one of my favorite Batman covers. This is a book I've been wanting. I've been watching on Instagram, been making offers to people, but the price just was not right. The price for the Green Lantern, I think he had that priced at $350. And then for the Tech 400, he was wanting $600. But if you look closely, this book is worth it. This is probably one of the highest grade Tech 400s I have ever seen. This might be like a 7. It's got a couple color breaking spine ticks, but this book is flat as a pancake, super well taken care of. The colors are still popping. I mean, that book looks like it had just come off the newsstand back from the 70s. This is an awesome book. One I've really been wanting. Man-Bat's on the cover. Man-Bat's a great villain. A kind of underutilized villain, in my opinion. Haven't seen him in a movie yet, but you know Man-Bat's going to come eventually. Super awesome book, classic book. I would say most comic collectors know what this book is and want this book. All right, so that was the 2 Raw books that we got from TNT Comics, but we got some other stuff here. This is another book that we got from one of the first dealers that you saw in the video. This is X-Men number 125. This is the first appearance of Mutant X, Proteus, Mastermind appearance, Magneto Cameo from 1979. This is a book, this is like literally one of the only books that I needed. Like, I think I had 94 now, 94 until 124. I needed 125, and then from 126 to like 150, I think I had all those. This is the only one that was eluding me. And I just wasn't really willing to pay like, you know, 75 bucks, 100 bucks for this book. Although this is probably, I had this discussion with a commenter, and I can't remember who it was, but this is probably one of my favorite parts of the X-Men run. I know a lot of people say they love God Loves, Man Kills, the Phoenix Saga. Those are all great parts of the run, but I really like this Mutant X part of that run. If you haven't read X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Chris Claremont, you need to. It's like classic reading, and it basically, it shows the evolution of what comics became and just how awesome of a team. I mean, the X-Men are probably the best team, in my opinion, pound for pound, in any comics, Marvel or DC. It's just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, 7.5, good little book. I actually considered cracking this out of the slab. I'm not going to do it. He wanted $70 for this book. I offered him 50 cash. Snap, took it. I'm super happy with that. And encapsulated, 125, 7.5, all day. All right, this next book's a big boy book, and a book that I've been wanting. This book's been hot all the way back since WandaVision. If you can't guess it already, this is Fantastic Four number 94. First appearance of Agatha Harkness. Medusa and Frightful Four, Wizard, Trapster, and Sandman appearance. This is from 1970. So this is technically, this is not a Silver Age book, I don't believe. It's a 15-cent book, which kind of surprised me. I couldn't remember exactly when Fantastic Four transitioned from the 12-cent to 15-cent, but it must have been just a little bit before this. He had this book listed for $375, and this was just a vendor that I spent very little time with. I actually don't think I filmed any part of that interaction just because I wasn't there long, because it was kind of like a snap type of deal where I was like, oh, let me check out that Agatha 7.0. I mean, to see this old a book and that good a grade is rare, at least from the books that I see. And I said 300, and he said 325. I got the $300 cash out, gave it to him, and I said 300. He took it. $300 cash for this book, incredible. Actually looked at some other first Agatha books in that in the video, and the prices were stupid. The prices were ridiculous. Somebody was asking like $900 for this book, which is stupid, insane. I actually showed some of the dealers that I bought this book, and they were like unimpressed. I don't think this is a flash in the pan book. Also, this is another situation where I had like issues like, you know, like 60 to like 100 of Fantastic Four, and I was literally just missing this 94. So kind of another I'm piecing these runs together. Uncanny X-Men, Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, and Amazing Spider-Man. I'm piecing them together, and I'm close. I'm really close. So glad to have this in the collection. Agatha is awesome. The actress that plays her, I can't think of her name. She is fantastic. She is awesome. That smile, my gosh. She has got witch just written all over her. Love it. Love the casting. Loved WandaVision too. All right, guys. These are the big books. As you can see in the video, we were looking to get another giant size X-Men #1. If you watched my previous video from the Roanoke Con, you know I sold my 3.0. And as soon as I sold it, as soon as I left out of my hands, I felt instant regret. You feel that seller's remorse, especially when you sell something that big. Well, we upgraded. Giant size X-Men #1, 5.5. You guys know what this book is. First Nightcrawler, first Colossus, first Storm, first Thunderbird, and second full appearance of Wolverine. This book needs no introduction. This is just a tried and true book, a classic book. Everybody wants this book. This is a must-have in your collection. I went from a 3.0 to a 5.5. You went low grade to mid grade. Whew, that's a big jump. So the dealer wanted $3,000, which is a very reasonable deal. In that room, we saw $3,100, we saw $3,250, we saw $3,500. This just shows it pays to shop. It pays to look around. Don't just buy the first thing you see when you're in there. And they were willing to make that trade. So this was the trade: the Tech 400, the Green Lantern 76, and this book. Would you make that trade? Would you trade those modern books, the books that I showed, a low grade first Moon Knight and a 9.6 Spider-Gwen and some other books for these books? I would say a majority of you would make that deal. Super glad to have this back in the collection. Also with the custom label. How lucky is that? Super fortunate. All right, this next book is a book that I really didn't have a whole lot. I knew I wanted this book. This is a book I'd wanted for a while, but it wasn't on my radar. But man, when I saw it, I had to have it. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This book needs no introduction as well. This is the third print in a CGC 8.5. Is it white pages? White pages. This is first Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Shredder, and Master Splinter. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book, and really I don't need any other TMNT books. I'd like to have that Raphael #1, first Casey Jones. That book is very attainable. Probably will get that at some point, but this is the book. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book. The dealer wanted $1,275 for it. He was a super nice guy. Like I said, most of the guys were super nice. He told me kind of what he had in it and what he needed. I counted out $1,000 in $100 bills, and I gave it to him. And I let him hold it, and he was like, "I got to have $1,200," and he gave it back. He gave me that $1,000 back. I walked away. I literally walked away, and I came back to him. It was like the end of the day. Like I'd gotten the giant size. I was so happy. I was great. And I literally went back over there. I was like, "You sure you don't want this? You sure you don't want this 1,000 cash?" He said, "I'll take it." And I was like, oh my gosh. This is a book I didn't have on my radar, didn't anticipate getting, and we brought it home. Third print. So if you don't know, the first print is so elusive. I don't know the exact print count on that, but it's like less than 500 exist. And then there's a second print, which I think is something similar, maybe like 1,200, 1,000 books. This book had a print run, I think, of around 30,000. So they're definitely out there. But they all have very, very similar colors, or they all have very similar covers. You can only tell the difference, I think, by the blood on the cover, I believe. I think that's the difference. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But any printing, first, second, third print of this book is, people want this book. This is a Grail book. This is a classic book. And good news, using ECC frames. If you haven't already, go check out ECC frames. I have a frame that I can put this in so I can get it up on the wall. The issue is where I'm going to put it. I got to put it somewhere because this book is just too good to sit in a short box. Guys, this is up there with my trip back to the same convention, Charlotte Comic Con. You guys got to go to this. If you're near this area, they do it quarterly. So this was their summer show. They've got a fall show, winter show, and a spring show. You got to go down there. It's about the books. It's about the books, which is what I love. And super nice vendors. It's $5 to get in there. $5 to get into the show. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put a lot of effort into this video as well. Thank you guys for watching. If at any point in time you like this video, give the thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.